Everyone. So I wanted to do a real quick reflection of this week. I haven't been on, and I think many of you know why. So grad school has started back up again, and you know how I am. It's like when I'm in grad school, I prefer hi Gucci. When I'm in grad school, nice seeing you. How are you, my dear? When I'm in grad school, I usually don't like to inundate myself with a ton of other things. Hey, lovely, how are you? I don't like to inundate myself with a ton of things. To do because I really like to take priority. As a matter of fact, tonight I was just reading up on one of my group therapy classes that I'm actually group therapy curriculum, forgive me, that I'm taking up. And I am just like so busy that I don't get a time to come on. But this week was a significant week, and I'll try to do it like every week. Yeah, this may sound crazy, but I need your info for that school thing. Really need your brain if that's cool. That's absolutely cool, and I wouldn't mind that at all, and I would encourage it. As a matter of fact, I will give you my information. Please be sure to type either your Twitter account or however I can contact you or whatever you feel comfortable doing. Please don't put any phone numbers. I had like someone do that, and I didn't really feel comfortable with them doing it because it sort of just put your contact information at risk. I would love to. I work in education, in child development, which is really something that I've learned to be very big for me. So this week was significantly, okay, good. I will definitely email you. This week was significantly very, very important. In a sense that a lot had gone on with one of my supervisors, and she was like coming back and everything was good. I don't want to discuss her personal information. And, oh, cool. Your Twitter account. You do have one. Okay, cool. I'm requesting you and I'm emailing you. I am going to turn in after this, so please don't be disappointed if you don't get it tonight. Something significant happened. A couple of things happened. One, I started to identify and realize certain things, about how I approach dealing or contact with my students. Recently, I was just made to participate in a mentor program that we received a grant on. Yay! And we received acceptance to a program that selected only a few schools in New York City. And I was given two young ladies, and I don't want to go into that too much because there's a level of privacy that I have, but I am one who I thought wasn't going to be a challenge is a little bit of a challenge, and the other who I didn't think would be a challenge actually opened up to me on a level that I felt so wonderful about. There was also another significant moment that I had with one particular young man who has had a level of behavioral issues and went off on me and I became very angry and infuriated. He was made to apologize, and I think I gave him his aha moment because he had disrespected an employee, and I stepped in and I told him to get up and he has to pay attention, and it was very upset, and I became infuriated with him, and I responded. And then I realized afterwards, when he came back to apologize to me, I had some time to think about it after I calmed down, because I couldn't believe that he was that disrespectful to another adult in the school and in front of every student. But when he was made by the assistant principal to come back, because they jumped on it immediately, they're very quick with their response, to come back and to apologize to me, I had told him that he could not apologize. And I know many of you may not agree with this. He did use foul language and disparaging words, but I said to him, you cannot apologize. And what I said to him is that I need you to understand my response to you. I also need you to understand your actions. But I think in that small moment that I had to step away from him, I realized that there is a lot of pressure in being a child, and a lot of expectancies from, like, what we expect from children is unrealistic. Even as being adults, we are not perfect. There are a lot of flawed behaviors that we have. I myself have. And I think we don't allow children to be angry. It is a natural emotion. They should learn respect, but in order to get that from them, we have to give them that. We have to show compassion even when they are doing something wrong. So what I said to him was that I just needed you to understand that what you did was so wrong and disrespectful that it made me feel as though I needed to intervene. I needed to intervene on behalf of the adult that you did it to. I needed to intervene for the sake of the other children to show example. And more importantly, I needed to intervene because of you. I really was sort of more hurt than angry. And what I did was I became more infuriated. And I couldn't get the moment to explain to you why what you were doing was inappropriate. And so I said to him, "You're not allowed to apologize." And he looked at me like, oh my God. He was shocked. And I said to him, "What you are going to do is promise me that you will never do that to another person again. And you certainly won't do what you did to me to someone else. Because although we love you within the school walls, we respect you. When you go out into the world, you cannot expect everyone to be as understanding. And there is a level of responsibility that comes with speaking to people and your language and how you communicate with them. And it's not a matter of they don't respect you. It's just a matter of the responsibility. You're no longer a small child. You're now coming into becoming, he's almost going to be a senior." And I said, there is a level of responsibility where people are not going to say it's because you're a child. They're going to expect you to know better. And so when he left, I said, "Is everything okay?" And he looked really sorry. He looked like he wanted to scream, "I'm sorry." That's when I felt he really wanted to say sorry rather than the assistant principal, Ms. Butler, making him apologize. And so when he walked away, I felt like his whole body shrunk down, like he was really sorry, because we had never had this conflict before. And when he left, the two adults who was responsible for making him come over were disappointed. They said, "You should have made him." So they said that he had to write a letter. And I said, "Listen, this is the way I'm approaching this conflict." And they finally said, "Okay, that's fine." And I said, "I need for him to understand that even in disappointment, there is a need for us to sort of have that level of we still care." And so when he sees me in the hall, I don't want him to remember that I was so disrespectful and somehow internalize and believe that I hate him, or that what I said was something more deeper than what's allowing him to behave this way. I don't think that he was intentionally coming into the room to do this. I think he probably had a very difficult day. Without going into his past, there is probably some things that's going on at home. I know for a fact that is. And so throughout the day, interacting, because we spend so much time with our children or our students, many different things trigger it. And so I just wanted him to know. And I noticed that every time he comes around, like the next morning, he actually came in for an activity. Let me just close this. He actually came in for a morning activity rewarding children who come in early. He put his head down and avoided a sort of slightly eye contact with me. And he was used to me greeting the boys, and they were like, "Hey, miss," like they're excited to see me because I always greet them with enthusiasm. And I said to him, let's give him a pseudonym. I gave, his name is Urel. I said, "Hey, Urel, what's up? How you doing, buddy?" And he looked at me and he was like, "I'm doing good." And ever since then, he meets eye contact with me. He makes sure he says hi without me even wanting to say hi to him. And so with that, I say when children behave or do things that are not appreciated or respectful, that we have an opportunity to sort of demonstrate how you should behave. And we should also allow them to make their errors, but to point out in great detail, along with a positive response of how they should behave in regards to earning that respect. Now, in regards to the two other girls, I also work with children that are showing sort of chronic difficulties in school, whether that is behavioral, psychological, or attendance. And so I noticed that a lot of the times our children who do well in the state exam and behave well and have great attendance, they sort of are expected to do so. So we do not really shower them with the attention that we do the children who have difficulties. Now, this is very smart because in a sense that we're targeting the children because we want them to be in the category of the other children. But in that sense, a lot of the good children, I hate to use that term good, wow. A lot of the children who do what they're supposed to do or excel well in school then start to believe, well, I feel like no one's respecting me or no one's acknowledging me. And children want to be acknowledged. And so children also want to have the celebration of a great relationship with their educators or people within the building. And so two of the girls who are a part of the council, or at least ran for school positions in council, like president and vice president, they kept a real moment with me. And they basically told me that they thought the adults were full of, without using that word, they wouldn't use it with me, that we were hypocrites and that we were not, like they were over us. Because they had come to me and told me that one of the students who excels very well, she's extremely mature. She's in the 5th grade. Those are our seniors, 5th grade. She is intelligent. She is well spoken. She is, her math and ESL exam, state exams were overwhelmingly good. And she basically this year came in as her senior year, and she is now overall being talked about with all the teachers as having an attitude as though she doesn't care. And in some cases mouthing off and rebelling. And I wonder, did we create this monster? And I was at one of my trainings at Columbia, near Columbia University, with one of the programs that is responsible for the funding of me being in the school and trying to push this. It's the initiative of the mayor. Basically, they train us every so often. And I said to one of my groups, I said, there's this really intelligent girl. She has a grasp of education. She comes from a family that is has a history in higher education and recognizes it, and it's in her. I hate to say her DNA, but in the behavior, her mother's currently in school. Her grandmother was a principal back in the Dominican Republic, and she is extremely intelligent. This girl was talking to me about the yin and yang, and she was talking to me about various things, and I'm like, hello, you're like 9. What do you know about this? This is to show you. I'm like, there's even adults who don't know about this. And now she's just sort of coming in, and I feel hurt by this, and I feel like, to some extent, I have to accept the responsibility along with the adults. Now, many would say, so what, she has to get over it. And I say no, because we are supposed to be nurturing young people. And the truth is that even in their greatness, even in their faults, they really crave the interaction. It's something that's necessary. This is very much the concept of theorist Adler, that we feel a sense to fit in, and we are social beings. The interactions of each other actually contributes to our growth. It contributes to our ability to produce and do well and receive even conflict a lot better than others. So what are we doing? And I sat down and they said that, and without even me bringing it up, they said that. And they said, it's just not fair. I noticed that this person gets this, that person gets this, and it's almost though they're saying, you do good, you need nothing. And they do need something. They do need that moment in the hallway. Hey, how you doing? I'm proud to hear that you did this. I'm proud to hear this. Or would you like to be a part of this project? And maybe you can contribute to helping me with the children who are having chronic issues. And so I decided to make a team leadership in the school. And I spoke to the community school director, who is my immediate supervisor. And she said, okay. And so I have changed my, I'm going to change, and I have done it in the past and it's worked, my time coming in. This is hard because I live closer to Westchester County. The school is in a area of more going towards South Bronx. It's one of the poorest areas. It's not one of the most celebrated areas, although I celebrate it. And so I'm going to literally come in and have breakfast with them. So I'm going to skip having breakfast at home or doing the things that I do in the morning. I'm going to get up early, probably before the sunrise, to get to the school. So although I'm not required to be there until 8:30, I'm going to come in at 7:30. This will require me to wake up and move more quickly when 5:30. And I usually do that anyway. So this is in the morning. So this shouldn't be hard. But I'm going to then start to reward the children that are coming in. And these are the children that are doing good, to enforce and encourage a positive aspect. So I'm going to do some of the things that the girls love to do, which is a question about friendships and social skills. They love that stuff. And a lot of what I'm planning on doing doesn't cost anything. It just is literally me sitting at the lunch table with them while they're eating and talking about their relationships, who are real friends, who are fake friends. What do you want to do when you go to college? How do you feel about certain things? These children represent the same population as me back in the day. I don't want to age myself, but I am a first generation child of immigrants. what many people may not know is that my mom was undocumented for many years. And I also am a part of the economical status, at least growing up I was, as these children are. And they're still, despite all of, they do have a great significant resources, which are humans like myself coming in and caring. So I'm going to do that with them. And a lot of some of the things that I was picking at their ideas, they want to learn about video editing, which is something I know about. They want to learn about simple, sweet things like jewelry making and making slime. All of these things I know how to do. So as a reward system and to encourage them, I'll have them sign in to this sort of, social club. And the main objective is to get to school on time. And one particular girl who's hovering over me, my adorable, sweet girl, I want to say her name, but she leaned over to me. She says, I walk to school every day with my sister, and she has to get out to go and take her test. You know what? I'm going to run down here so we can all do this. And she was like, I will. And I believe her that she will. And so I'm really excited about that. But what I learned to do is listen to children critique or criticize us as adults. And within our culture, we would see this as being disrespectful. But the truth is, how are we to help people if we don't listen to them? And more importantly, why are we being so inconsistent with children? Children see everything. They recognize everything. And so they see when we're not being genuine or sincere. As a relative in my family said, children know how to sense bullshit. And so I think they were calling bullshit on our behavior. And so I'm going to adhere to the calling. And so in the next days I may be posting. I think I'm going to go to my YouTube and post more on that. And I'm going to ask any of you, if you have any ideas that you think would be great, I welcome it. I am really good with the researching, so I've already come up with a lot of concepts. Now it's just a matter of making time, along with my 17 mentees. I'm mentoring 17 children, and along with taking on this project. But this is the work I love. And there's also a great deal of administrative work on behalf of the CBO, which is community-based organization. But I'm really excited. I really want to see what the turnout is. And more importantly, I really want to be able to turn in my reports to the director and hear her feedback about it. I think this could be a positive thing. I hope to also get permission of the parents and the schools to document it in social media that people can see. Because I really think it's important that we respect the needs of children and not see it as childish. There's nothing childish about being who you are. That's like saying it's inappropriate to think like an adult when you are an adult. And I really am excited about this. So my reflection is listen well and be ready to be told you're wrong and fix it. If you really care about what you do, fix it. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. And it was great talking to you, and speak to you at another time. Remember, do something great.